Welcome to Turn Illness into Brilliance, where we turn problem into solution and illness into the brilliance that is unique to you. Quantum Therapeutics offers solution for C-PTSD, PTSD, and dissociation. In this journey with us, we hope to reignite your curiosity around what is possible. So welcome, welcome, welcome to Turn Illness into Brilliance. Oh my gosh, welcome back to Turn Illness into Brilliance. And I'm your host, Cherie Doyen. And today we have Vanessa LaRochelle. Yay, I'm so excited that she's here today and gonna join in this conversation. Vanessa is a level 2 practitioner. That means she's in her practicum level of exploration with people and moving people through the process. How you doing with all that, Vanessa?
Really, really good. It's super, super exciting to see the clients go on their journey so quickly. That's the biggest thing for me.
Yeah, it's so rapid, yeah?
Rapid, yeah.
And I think that, some people go, oh, rapid, like it's going to be super intense. And no, we're meaning rapid, like resolution, right? Rapidly moving out of that high state of intense emotion all the time.
Yeah, and I see it too as like rapid self-realization, realizing, oh, this can be utilized as a form of brilliance. And I don't have to be out here.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
We're on Zoom, so loud. But one thing that I think as well, right? Like, I love watching so many clients, like, as they're putting the puzzle pieces together and their timeline is reforming in a natural way. It's like light bulbs just left and right, popping. And in those light bulbs, because what keeps us picking is having missing pieces, missing information.
Right. I call it a nag.
Totally a nag.
It's just a nag. Yeah. And you're like, what is that? Because you don't even know where it exists.
Yeah, you have no idea.
Yeah, lots of black holes, reality hopping. I see it, we see it right away.
And we have no distinctions around what is natural for us.
Right.
And what is the trauma, which I find to be a level of learning and letting go of blame almost. In that space of going, well, even on a good day in the best home, I would have been a highly sensitive, empathic person.
That's right.
And I would have to learn how to maneuver life, right, in a callous, chaotic world,
right,
of constant stimulation, right? Even in a good home, right, there would be that space of adjustment, right? So then we have to think about, okay, right, what would this kid be like in a home that was running in a state of complexity every moment,
and that
stimulation,
right? And that's where we find a lot of our clients living still today,
right? Because that's what we know, right? And to actually move the chaos out of our nest or out of our orbit allows us to be in the eye of a beam, or eye of a hurricane.
That's right, best place to be.
You can't be there if the eye is only a dime's width, right? So first, I think it's important for us to speak to that high level of sensitivity and those empathic traits before we even dive into PTSD and trauma, right?
That empathic state.
Well, and a highly sensitive person is receiving input cellular, right? They can feel sound on their skin, right? Flashing lights are, can send them into almost seizure type activity.
Yeah,
right? Alanis Morissette had to quit performing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she's highly sensitive, and so is her child, right? Highly sensitive people need a lot of alone time in the first place, before anything, because of that level of information and being able to distinguish, right? Going to the grocery store is completely a bombardment to every sense, right? Lights are flashing. The temperature is, a huge shift from, like in the summer, going from outside to 95, inside to 50 degrees, right?
The sounds.
The sounds, the beeping, people bumping into you, right? All the things that happen.
Making my head hurt.
Yeah.
Just thinking about it.
I swear to goodness, I should have a buying partner in Instacart, because every one of my clients has started using that. And it's like, what can we eliminate from our environment to make life doable, right? Fair enough. Like, let somebody bring your groceries, yeah, right? A highly sensitive person, their clothes, it's very similar to the OCD diagnosis in a huge way. Mm-hmm. A highly sensitive person is listening to a degree that people don't, right? And they're listening to how the words come together in a way, right? And they can get hung up on, like, why did you choose that word? Because they're listening and truly hearing in a different way. And so in and of itself, just being a highly sensitive person, right, is gonna have to learn to navigate life different. Relationships are gonna be different, right? Things are gonna be different. That's like being on, not quite, but close to that spectrum that's going.
That's right. Yeah, we talked about it a little bit the other day. I see it like a fork, like a pronged fork, and just like tuned into the different things. So like you said, you've got sound going off, you've got people, you've got temperature, you've got the parking lot.
All the things.
So all the things, you're tuned in like that. And so it can be really, really overwhelming. And what I love about your program too is we also create strategies around
it doesn't have to be a problem. The world is a chaotic place.
Or a fun game.
Most often it doesn't make sense. Yeah,
I said, or it could be a fun game.
It could be a really fun game. Because we are seeing, a highly sensitive person is seeing and experiencing the world. Literally experiencing the world, like in their bodies all the time. They make amazing detectives, because if you bat one eye faster than the other, they're gonna know it.
That's right.
Right? And if you get a slight shift across your eyes as you're telling the story, they're gonna go, what was that? Right? Because they are paying attention. Right? There's almost a hypervigilance that can arise for a person that's been traumatized in those places, which can get in the way of any sort of relationship, because no one is 100% true 24/7.
and it's like people live under a microscope around
Yeah.
a hyper vigilant, highly sensitive person. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
people being around, it's like under a microscope. Why'd you do that? Why'd you choose that word? Right? You know.
That's why it ties in so closely with PTSD and C-PTSD, because really, if that single traumatic event or that complex trauma is happening to you over time, really you just keep honing those empathic skills. And then you're just like
Exactly.
this
Well, and
super.
we haven't even gotten to empath yet, right? We're just still on the highly sensitive. So,
It's
yeah,
such
we
a
haven't even gotten to that. And then the person that has both, game on, right? Like,
magic.
whoa.
Yeah. It's just all so intertwined.
It is very intertwined. Now, when we move into that empath space, right, they can truly walk in another man's shoes, right? They can like lean into you in a true literal way, which can be extraordinary, or it can be crazy town because you don't know what is yours and what thoughts are the other person. Right?
Yeah, I found it exhausting when I wasn't distinguishing for years of my life.
Because you make everything about yourself.
Yeah, or you feel it all. That compassion meter, that empathic meter, when you're leaning in or stepping in, you're actually feeling and understanding a lot of pain, a lot of suffering that's not yours.
Well, and you're talking from a place of balance. So a person that is trapped in their, like a traumatized person, trapped in that space of being an empath,
right? It must
and or highly sensitive. Like, you don't know what you feel, right? Everything that you feel is yours, right? So starting to make those distinctions physically, a lot of quote hypochondriacs are empaths, very honed empaths whose bodies are completely mimicking another person's distress.
Yeah, that happened to you.
Oh yeah, as a hairdresser, because I was in people's crown chakras all the time, and yeah, I was at the doctor constantly with bizarre things. Like, the one that really triggered an awareness that I was able to like connect the dots was I was standing doing this woman's hair, and I went home that night and I was like, my uterus is falling out of my body. Right. And luckily I had another hair client who was a gynecologist, so I was able to call her and go, oh my God, like my uterus is falling out. Like, she had me in first thing the next morning and it was gone. And the next time I saw this woman, she had had a prolapsed uterus, and I was like, oh my God, that was the first of it. But we have to understand, I was like 48, right? So to make that connection, like, oh, right? I am not a crazy person. Maybe this could be positive if I could start making it useful in some way and distinguishing ahead of time rather than after. Right? And that becomes our journey to be able to be aware enough to feel those humongous things coming in. And we have to also think, like, being an empath that can really step into another man's shoes. What if somebody's beating you? And suddenly you have all your fear and all their anger at the same time. Right? That's an explosion waiting to happen. Yeah. Right? And I mean, that was something navigating, I think, because I was in such survival through my childhood and trying to navigate all that, having no distinctions, right? As an adult, being able to navigate that if somebody was angry at me, being able to stay in my space and not absorb their anger too, right? You know, because that's when things get violent.
That's right.
Yeah. So as we move forward, you know, we are really trying to set some tangibility to some of these words that on both sides of the fence have no meaning whatsoever, right? And as we move forward, Vanessa and I are gonna walk through some of what we claim, she has coined, I love, the quantum therapeutics vernaculars, and we are going to step into that and try to give some weight to some of these words, right? And she's going to be back with me as we walk through this. So I'm super excited that you guys were here today, and really grateful, and I hope you walked away with some ahas. Yeah. Right, as we move forward. Now grab up your copy of Turn Illness into Brilliance, right? This is your roadmap, right, of understanding how brilliant you actually are, how these actions, when we take them off of autoresponder, can become your superpowers, literally, and we need you, yeah? And pick up your copy of Chronicles of Tigwa. You know, it's a unique look through the eyes of a highly sensitive, empathic child living in a world of unpredictable violence and chaos, sex, you know, all of it. And the amazing avenues available, right, to maneuver that and come out on the other side in a new and different way, right? So grab up your copies, hop on Amazon, and we'll see you back here for Turn Illness into Brilliance.
Thank you, Cherie.
Thanks.
Now let's take a big deep breath as we shift gears and move into the Today I Choose segment of our show. We'd like to invite you to carve out a spot in your home where you're going to feel completely free to allow your body to speak and move and be present in this very moment. Thought, word, and action come together with the frequency of sound. So get comfy, close your eyes, and allow the words to turn into action and action turn into reality with Today I Choose. So we are super excited to welcome you back here to this segment of Today I Choose, right? I'm Cherie Doyen, and we're here with Sydney, right? Sydney Hemwell, and we are going to layer on top of that last exercise. Now, the first time we stepped in, right, we were reclaiming our bodies, and in that we're realigning your astral body with your physical body. Now today I want to focus in on the wisdom circuit. You can't create clear discerning thought if you're operating from just one segment of that circuit, right? So today, as we walk in, we're going to reclaim our bodies and layer in the wisdom circuit. Okay. Now I'd like for any of you out there that can see yourself standing in your room, we're going to locate the crown of your head. And I'd like to invite each and every one of you to get on your feet Let's create a rhythm. Yeah? Feel your body moving. Allow this beat to influence your action. Now we're going to drop down through the crown of your head into your corpus callosum. Science says the corpus callosum is the control room of everything that you are, all systems. All of the light switches are there. And we forgot where it was. So as we come down into that corpus callosum, we state claim. Okay? I'm here. Yeah? Now that energy that rides behind your eyes may feel like congestion, right? We're going to draw that back into the corpus callosum. And we're going to allow that backed up information to be filtered through our left and right brain. This is our processing system. And the upper portion of the wisdom circuit. We're gathering information through our eyes and our ears, our third eye, and drawing that back so that it can be processed in a way that can make change. Sometimes we get caught in a loop, right? So it's important to have this circuit connected. Now from there, we're going to drop down and we're going to fill up your chest cavity. Right? And like water, we're going to feel that weight coming down, taking ownership of this vessel that is you. Right? Now we're going to witness that circuit dropping down from that corpus callosum and activating all the brain cells that are in your heart. Now this connection's important, right? Because if we're just operating from the heart, we can't make wise, discerning choices, right? Love should never hurt, right? And if the love of one is hurting anyone else, it's not love, it's something else. Now we're going to take claim over those arms, and we're going to allow that energy to drop down all the way down to your fingertips. Right? Now let's focus on the palms of those hands, and let's hone in on those chakras as they get activated. Yeah? Now we're going to allow that energy to drop from our chest cavity. Like water, we're taking claim, ownership of this space all the way down to your sits bones. Right? And we're going to feel this energy flooding into all of your organs as we witness that circuit coming down from the heart, activating all those brain cells in your gut. Right? That's your wisdom. That's all the knowledge that you have accumulated over a lifetime, right? That you held on. You held on to it as true. And we forgot that. We forgot that was there. That's why your belly is always hurting. Right? So we witness all those brain cells light up. This is your wisdom circuit, right? Your gut, your heart, your head, your intuition. Only then, sitting in your corpus callosum, can you make a clear, discerning choice. Now let's drop down. We're going to fill up those thighs. your calves, taking ownership of each foot. Feel it on the ground.
am here.
You can feel the pulse in your right toe.
Am here.
If not, that's where we're going. Yeah?
I know what I want.
Now let's turn our awareness to your other foot. Let's find the pulse in that big toe.
I am here.
Take ownership of that space.
I am here.
Welcome
I know
home, wise
what
one.
I want. I know who I am. I am here. 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 I know who I am.
Oh, welcome home,
What I
everyone.
want.
Right? Now, we enter the world aware, awake, and ready to choose.
Am here.
See you next time. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Sydney, so much for joining together to create this synergy for Today I Choose and the Turn Illness into Brilliance podcast. I'm really grateful. And on behalf of myself and the Quantum Therapeutics team, we want to thank you for tuning into Turn Illness into Brilliance, where we turn problem into solution and illness into the unique brilliance that is you. Quantum Therapeutics for rapid results for resolution to C-PTSD, PTSD, and dissociation. Today, you can choose to schedule your call